Hello, my name is Vinicius. I'm the game designer and QA for Team Staircase, alongside my friends Portela, who is our artist 2D and 3D, and Guilherme, who is our music producer and lead programmer. And I'm here to showcase for you our newest project, Leave Us Alone Charlie. Now for a brief reminder, Leave Us Alone Charlie is a multiplayer competitive local game made in Godot, which is inspired by the movie Modern Times made by Charlie Chaplin. The objective of the game is that you, with up to 3 more friends, will be competing on a fabric in the 1930s against each other to try and become the employee of the month by gathering points, doing tasks, and completing minigames. Meanwhile, Charlie, who also works at the fabric, will unintentionally disturb all the players, making their lives complicated by getting in the way of them completing tasks or even sometimes walking around the place. The main gimmick of the game is that throughout the fabric there's multiple minigames that you can make or tasks that require a specific wrench, which requires the players to walk around a lot and interact with each other in a certain way. Meanwhile, Charlie will be there trying to push the players out the way or do their tasks before they can do it, which will end up on him stealing their points. That way we create a chaotic but compelling gameplay that keeps the players hooked and even unites them on their hatred against Charlie because of how annoying he can be during the game. Our game tackles the multiplayer party game genre, which has been overflowing with a lot of titles like Repo, Little Company, Peak, but those are games that mostly focus on the co-op aspect of the multiplayer. Meanwhile, we want to instill a more competitive vibe, where players, instead of helping each other, are trying to go against one another, while also unifying themselves with their hatred for the NPC AI that's been bothering them throughout the whole game, which we hope to make the game then gets a lot more focus by going on this opposite direction from the main market nowadays. Speaking a little of our future plans for the game, the main thing that we want to expand on is our gameplay mechanics. Sometimes the gameplay mechanics can feel a bit too repetitive and even nonsensical in a certain way. It doesn't feel like how a factories normally can, where tasks must be done in a sequence so that they can be done optionally. So we want to reimagine how some of the gameplay mechanics, the tasks, the minigames, interact with each other in order to feel more rewarding for the players and pose up more of a challenge instead of just walking around doing any task that appears on the map. We also want to create new variations of the tasks and the minigames, as well as new maps for more variety of the gameplay. Another thing that we want to do is pivot to the online multiplayer instead of the local multiplayer currently, so that players can play with each other from the comfort of their houses, not having to go through the trouble of being on the same place to play. And we also want to upgrade the visuals even more to draw out the power that combining 2D and 3D assets. Now for the development roadmap of our game, we have an 11-month long plan of how the future of the game's development is gonna look like. From May to August 2026, we are going to be focusing on the restructuring of the game to accommodate for both the online multiplayer and new gameplay mechanics. So that way, when we try to focus on making the game better in visual aspects or little details, the structure of the game will be more solid in a way that it will make harder for things to break or go sideways along development. Then from September to December 2026, we are going to be focusing on finalizing the game's visuals alongside some new mechanics to enter its final phase in development for the perfect polish of the final build. And then January to March 2027, the final build will hopefully be already published in both itch.io and Steam platforms for the public, with us doing small fixes and updates for the game after it's published the release date. Thank you so much for listening to our pitch. We hope you enjoy our game and keep following our social media that's going to be attached to the YouTube channel and the YouTube channel for news on how the game is going. I'll see you next time.